Welcome to this follow-up session in the Cloud series. My name is Jolandi Roth, and I'm the founder of Data Connects. In this session, we'll discuss a simple data management strategy for small and medium-sized businesses that will ensure that you stay in control of your data in the cloud. I often hear the question, should I back up data that is in the cloud? What would be my answer? Should I back up data? Yes. Should I back up data that is in the cloud? It depends. It is important to always store copies of data elsewhere. In other words, have at least one backup of your valuable data. But I want to go further than just answer that question. My goal is to help people understand what the cloud is, how it works, and what their options are, to position them to fully understand and commit to a data management strategy. In today's world, we all deal with data in many aspects of our lives. We'd like to preserve memories of our lives and loved ones' photos and videos on our personal devices. And in business, we need to take care of mission-critical business data. But if we're overwhelmed by the fast-changing technology and do not understand why and how to manage and protect data that is valuable to us, it will be left undone. My goal is to help you make sense of the cloud and to help you understand how to implement good data management strategies. Although data management is a discipline that involves much more than just backing up your data, this is a good start and will be our focus in this session. This presentation forms part of a series that helps people understand the cloud better and be cloud wise. Today's content builds on the foundation laid in Demystifying the Cloud. If you have not seen Demystifying the Cloud, it will be worthwhile to catch up on that session by following the link in the description of this video. If you have ever wondered if and why you should back up your cloud data, be sure to watch this video. Let's do a quick recap of Demystifying the Cloud to set the stage for this session about data management. In Demystifying the Cloud, we discussed what the cloud is. The cloud is where servers, electronic content, that means data, and applications are made available over the internet, but where the physical computing resources are not owned or accessed by the customer. We talked about who the cloud is. Essentially, the cloud belongs to organizations called cloud providers. Cloud providers make computing resources and data services available to the public on a pay-per-use basis. Where is the cloud? Interaction with the cloud happens through the internet, but ultimately your data, your content comes to rest in a data center owned by a cloud provider. We also looked at the differences between public, private, hybrid, and personal cloud in that video presentation. Then we proceeded to dive a little deeper and discuss the different layers or collections of cloud services offered by a cloud provider. These layers are the physical infrastructure layer, the technical layers called platform and infrastructure services that are mostly used by software companies to build applications and solutions. And the top layer, which affects all of us as end users of the cloud, is called the software as a service layer, also known as cloud applications or apps. We also pointed out that there are many cloud providers, but particularly 4 big ones in the United States today. We then addressed an important question about data in the use of cloud applications. What happens to your content, your data, when you interact with cloud-based applications? To understand what happens to your data in the cloud, it is important to understand how cloud applications work. Cloud applications form the top layer of the services offered by cloud providers. This layer is called software as a service. This is the face of the cloud, what the end user sees and interacts with, the application you use on your phone or PC, the website you log into to access your content. Modern cloud applications provide users a way to access their content in the cloud by way of authentication. That is typically a username and password combination, although authentication methods are always evolving, and it is typically a subscription-based payment model. Let's have a look at a typical interaction with a cloud application. Introducing an everyday cloud user, meet Peter. Peter decides to use a certain cloud application that will help him improve productivity in his business. He signs up, chooses his subscription level, logs in, and starts to use the application. He enters content into the application about his business operations and transactions. The application, the software, runs through its code and the layers of services in the cloud to perform what we can only call app magic. The content that Peter provided gets transformed into data and saved to a database in the cloud. The app does what Peter paid for and provides fantastic feedback to him about the state of his business. It's a delightful site, modern and colorful dashboards, buttons and reports. Peter is really happy with this system. So once it's in the cloud, what happens to the data? Data is stored with a cloud provider, probably one of the big five. End users do not know exactly where their data comes to rest. Software companies, the cloud application companies, are not required to disclose where the data is stored or which cloud provider they use. So what are the data management implications for business and content owners? You remain the owner of your content. It does not matter where or how your data is stored, you remain the owner of that data. You only have access to your content through the application. In the picture above, there is no direct line from Peter to his data. You cannot access your data outside the context of the application. That means if your access to the cloud application is compromised, you lose access to your data. If your subscription to a product, an application, ends for any reason, and if you cannot sign in anymore, or if your account has been suspended, you may never again see the data, your content, that you have submitted into that application. And that is risk. Cloud applications are wonderful. They enable us to collaborate efficiently, they improve productivity and business insights, and they enable companies to innovate faster. Companies spend less time on systems development and maintenance and more time focusing on core services. But when it comes to your data, there is risk. You can lose your data when subscription or access to a cloud-based product is compromised for any reason. So how can you manage that risk? You have a backup plan for trust. What does that mean? It means that it is important to always store copies of data elsewhere. In other words, have at least one backup of your valuable data, even if your data is already in the cloud. Let us talk about data management strategies to protect your data in the cloud. Applications come and go, but data remains. Your data is an asset. We'll look at a simple strategy for your business to ensure that you remain in control of your data. This strategy may look different for individuals to protect their personal data in the cloud. I have a separate series to help you make good data management decisions when interacting with the cloud from personal devices and accounts. In that series, we talk more about iCloud, OneDrive, Google Drive, Google Photos, and more to help you understand how to manage cloud backups of photos, videos, and personal documents on your personal devices. Reach out to me for more information or see the description of this video for the link to that series. Back to business. This simple data management strategy for small to medium businesses will reduce the risk of losing access to your data. It will position you to maintain control over your own data, and it will further position you and your business to unlock the full potential of your data asset. With well-secured and available data, you will be able to unlock insights into your business operations and your customers through powerful analytics that go beyond the scope of the applications that you use. And here is the simple two-step strategy. First, you regularly export copies of your data from the cloud applications that you use. And then you store those exported copies of data elsewhere. You knew this already, right? This is simple, yet so crucial, and a process often overlooked when businesses use cloud applications. How do you export copies of your data from the cloud applications? You can manually export your data from within the cloud application if the app provides functionality to do that. Most cloud applications provide you with a way to do that. If you are given a choice, export your data in a common format like a .csv. Or you can work with an IT professional to automate the process. Good, step 1 is taken care of. That's the easy part. Now, how do you store exported copies of data elsewhere? Again, you have several options. I'll name them quickly and then we'll look at each of these options in more detail. Option A. Remember our cloud provider layer diagram? Option A is to have your very own cloud provider account and keep your data copies on the lowest cost storage tiers available in the cloud. Option B. In this option, you also store your data copies in the cloud, but you use a subscription-based cloud storage application to achieve that goal. And option C, another option is to keep data copies on external hardware storage units. Let's look at option A in more detail. Do you see the cloud layer at which that arrow is pointing? The strategy here is to work with a cloud architect to help you set up your very own account with one of the main cloud providers. You will have your own AWS, Amazon Web Services, or Microsoft Azure account. Then you work with a cloud architect to store your data copies in a lower service layer directly with the cloud provider. You will always have access to that data because you remain in control of that account. You have access to different storage tiers and are able to store data at the lowest cost available in the market today. With your data stored on your own cloud provider account, your data is well positioned as an asset. It provides the potential to be used as a data lake with which you can access further cloud services and run analytics on. Here is an example of what this will cost. Remember that with a cloud provider, you only pay for what you use. If you store 10 gigabytes of data, you will only pay for 10 gigabytes of storage. Hot data, which is data that is stored in a way that can be easily and quickly accessed, can currently be stored on AWS, Amazon's cloud service, for 2.3 cents per gigabyte per month. That is $20 per terabyte per month. Cold data, which is data that is deeply archived and not frequently accessed, can be stored on AWS for less than 0.01 cents per gigabyte per month. That is $1 per terabyte per month. And there are many options and tiers between hot and cold, which gives you ultimate flexibility in your data management strategy. Let's look at option B. Do you see the cloud layer at which that arrow is pointing? The strategy here is to store your data copies in the cloud using a subscription-based cloud storage application, something like Dropbox or Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive. This option is easier for anyone to implement, and the applications are normally very intuitive. You wouldn't require the skills of a cloud architect to set up a storage application account and to move your files there. These cloud storage applications are designed to be highly integrated. What does that mean? They are accessible from your File Explorer. You can access them easily from your other applications. That may be an advantage, but it may also be a disadvantage. If you need a place to securely store backup copies of your data to reduce your risk, you don't necessarily want to interact with that data frequently or have seamless access to it from your business devices. Storage applications are typically subscription-based and provisioned. You subscribe to a 1 terabyte capacity, for example. and data exported from cloud applications for the sake of backups and risk management are typically text-based files, unless you work with audio and video media in your business. So you might pay for something you only use a fraction of. On the other hand, if you already subscribe to one of these products, you already have a place to store your exported copies of data. Just be sure to check privacy settings on those data files. Here is an example of what this will cost. It's tricky to isolate the storage cost from the application because all these applications are designed to be tools as part of a collaborative environment. But on average, you're looking at around $5 to $12 per month for storage of up to 1 terabyte. OneDrive standalone is around $5 a month. If you have a Dropbox for business, it's around $12 per user per month. And the same with Google. Again, it's hard to isolate the storage cost from the application cost because these really are integrated collaborative applications. Let's move on to the third option. The strategy here is to store your data copies on external storage units, external hard drives. For greater reliability, store them off-site. The disadvantage of this option is that you merely archive your data. Your data is not easily available or usable for further analytics, and the hardware itself doesn't last forever and may be obsolete in a few years. The cost? Hardware prices fluctuate and they tend to come down, but you typically could expect to pay $50 for 1 terabyte of capacity. This is, of course, a once-off investment. Let's wrap up our discussion of storing copies of data elsewhere. How do you choose the right option? It depends on your business and the applications that you are currently using. It also depends on the types and volume of data that you are storing copies of. If you are uncertain about the best choice, reach out to me or a trusted cloud architect to help you make the best decision for your business to protect your data. But let me offer you some great news. If you are serious about a data management strategy for your business data, and you are considering to implement solution A, that is, storing data directly with a cloud provider like AWS, I have a great offer for you. You may not need to consult with a professional cloud architect to get this implemented. I will show you how to do this. I am a certified AWS solutions architect, and I have put together a video series where I will show you with hands-on step-by-step tutorial videos and demos how you can set this up yourself. By following these videos, you will be able to implement this data management solution yourself. You can save hundreds of dollars in professional cloud architect fees. For only $10, you will get access to hands-on video tutorials where I will guide you through the process to set up your own AWS account and the infrastructure necessary to copy your data to the cloud. Let's look at the topics that will be covered and demonstrated in this video series. The video series for Solution A is called Storing Data in AWS and has step-by-step tutorial videos and demos to set up your own AWS, Amazon Web Services, cloud account, move your files and documents, and interact with your data in the cloud. We'll start with an overview of AWS and the services used in the solution. Then we'll set up the account, the S3 storage bucket, and the permissions and policies in IAM necessary to secure the data and access the bucket. We'll install and use Cloud Explorer to move files to S3. This is a software product that can be used free of charge for this purpose. And lastly, we'll look at different ways to access the files in the cloud. After this course, you'll be completely set up in AWS and have the most cost-effective framework in place to store copies of your data in the cloud. Congratulations on a simple yet crucial strategy to secure your data in the cloud. These video demos and tutorials to set up storage solutions in AWS is available for only $10. Visit my website at dataconnects.com to learn more and sign up for this video series. You can also scan the QR code on the screen right now for quick access to the course, or visit dataconnects.thinkific.com to go directly to the page with information on all the courses that I offer. I thank you in advance for your support, and I'm confident that this video series will be of great value to you if you are interested in AWS. To bring this all together as I end this presentation, let's quickly review our data management strategy. After a deeper dive into the cloud, we understand that there are many cloud providers, and each offer cloud services in many layers. And the cloud applications that we typically use in business are called software as a service, and it sits on the top application layer of the cloud. As we use cloud applications, we provide content and get value from it, but we have no actual access to our data apart from the context of that application. That poses a risk in the event that our access to an application is compromised due to subscription issues. We may lose access to our data. And to manage that risk, we need a backup plan. Call it a backup plan for trust, a strategy to regularly secure copies of our data and store it elsewhere. With a good data management strategy, we ensure that we reduce the risk of data loss, that we maintain control over our own data, and position our data to be an asset that can be used in further analytics and unlock insights and greater innovation. And using a simple two-step plan, we first regularly export copies of our data from the cloud applications that we use, and then we securely store those data copies elsewhere. And if you're looking to implement this strategy yourself and set up a system where you store copies of your data directly with one of the big cloud providers like AWS, I offer a great video tutorial series for only $10 with hands-on demo videos where I show you how to do this. Visit my website at dataconnects.com for more information on this course called Storing Data in AWS. Thank you for watching this video.